Today I ride an amazing trail, a sketchy black descent, and things get a bit icy. Welcome to Whinlatter and welcome to Bike and Beyond. As predicted, the trails up here are pretty icy. There we go. So, welcome to the Whinlatter Forest in the Lake District, home to a number of mountain bike trails graded from blue to black. This is a picturesque location to go biking, so today I plan to ride the South Loop. One of two red trails here, the South Loop consists of a red and a black graded trail. Combined together they're about 10 kilometers long and take around an hour to ride. This trail takes in some fun descents of both a technical and flowy nature, and some fun uphill climbs. Yes, I did just use the words fun and uphill climbs in the same sentence. So let's get on the trail and I'll show you what I mean. So heading back out towards the car park entrance, you'll find a little cut through and you head over the road. Take a note of the signage foreshadowing the antics of later on. Following this short link trail through the woods, it pops you out on the bottom of the first fire road climb. Here we go, let the climb begin. So this really is a trail of two halves. You basically climb from here all the way up until the top of the Black Loop, and then it's all descending back down. Now this may be a 40-minute uphill plod on a manual bike. Ugh. Even saying that makes my legs ache, but I have to say the climbing isn't actually boring. At most other trail centres this will be a standard single track that gets you through the trees to the next bit, without much thought as to the journey. But here they've used natural features and some careful rock placements to make things way more interesting. The trail surface is covered in large rocks, natural roots and some roots that look like rocks. As well as being a fairly challenging climb in its own right, the trail builders have also created optional rock features every now and then just to test your climbing skills. Once you're through the gap in the wall, you also get a little taste of the descent too. But don't get too comfortable, because you're back on the pedals pretty soon. That's cool. Once you get out of the woods, you get a chance to appreciate the views and the amazing sunshine. It looks like I picked a good day for it. But don't be fooled by the good looking weather. Remember that little red sign at the start of the trail? Yes, it's blooming freezing today. In fact, it's currently -2 degrees here and there's plenty of snow and ice on the trail, which of course gets more and more abundant the higher I go, which could cause some issues later on. Of course, working my way up the trail, I've no idea what the conditions are like further up on top of the black trail, so the descent could be extremely technical in this weather. Of course, even on the red trail in these conditions, it's not just the downhills that are technical. But who doesn't like a challenge? When you finally make it to the top of the red, you go left for the red descent or hang on right for the next climb up to the black. So I turned right. And I'm glad I did, because the views are absolutely stunning from up here. Anything to take my mind off the ice. Don't let that sunshine fool you. It is incredibly cold and exceedingly icy out here. That's right, riding up it looks like a summer's day, but it certainly doesn't feel that way. But as soon as the sun disappears, the ice returns to the trail. And with the last bit of climbing of the entire trail laid out in front of you, you get to ride what can only be described as the trail of 1,000 switchbacks. The last push, and then I made it to the top of the hill. Wow. This is it then. So here we go. Fresh tire marks is always good. So as predicted, the trails up here are pretty icy. But that's the trail down there. Very snowy, very icy. But like I said, there are definitely tire marks in it. So I'm gonna head down and take it a bit cautiously. Let's ride this icy descent. So as a black graded trail, this is definitely more of a technical black rather than a steep or jumpy black. Dropping in, I have no idea what lies ahead of me, so I decided to take things cautiously. but quickly came across this steep and sketchy rock roll.
Definitely taking the main line through that one.
Yeah, this is pretty much my aim. Just follow the most ridden line in the hope that the previous riders made it down in one piece. Seems like a solid plan to me. But I have to say, the sound of crunching ice under your tyres is slightly unnerving.
That is full on ice.
Cruising along the top part of the trail, the terrain is a mixture of undulating sections with plenty of roots, rocks, punchy descents and gradual pedalling. Of course, I'm definitely going a lot slower than you might in the dry or on an e-bike, but if anything, the trail conditions just added to the difficulty and the technical nature of the trail. On the sections without ice, you can see that the trail is a natural looking rough surface. It zigs and zags to make the most interesting route through the terrain. It hops in and out of the woods as you make your way steadily downwards. The upper part is definitely flatter than the later sections. Things speed up a bit in the second half of the descent as things get a bit steeper. So it really is a trail with multiple elements to it. But whichever way you look at it, it's a fun ride. So if you don't fancy riding this trail, you can just ride the red section at about 7 or 8 kilometres. But for me, the real fun is riding them both and making the most of the really long descent. From the top of the black trail to the bottom of the fire road on the red trail, you can ride this in about 15 minutes, even in these conditions. And that's why combining the red and black together really feels worthwhile, because you get a really long descent. This also gives you a mixture of trail types from slow and technical to the fast and flowy.
Ooh, that was sketchy. Pretty scared of these rocks. You know how icy they are.
So with only one more corner to go, I was stoked to have made it down in one piece. I've certainly not ridden a black section like this in a while. And I can already see the start of the red trail from here, so we're going straight in.
There we go. That was awesome. That was well worth it.
After riding the technical and looser trail above, the faster, smoother red descent feels amazing. And it kicks off with a couple of large jumps. Not quite knowing the condition of the landings, I kind of just hit and hoped. But luckily, plenty of people have ridden these already today and the landings were free of ice. Which is more than I can say for some of the berms. As I said, this is primarily a flow trail. There are a couple of jumps and small kickers as you work your way down, but everything looks rollable and there isn't anything to catch you up. Although this warning sign was a bit of a concern. Apart from the icy berm that I skidded round, I'm not sure what the sign was warning me about.
Oh, that was really icy.
I was expecting to see a gap or a ditch or a barbed wire fence or something, so if you know what this was about, let me know in the comments. So with this descent taking you almost down to the bottom of the trail, you can just sit back and enjoy. This is actually my first time riding in the Whinlatter forest, and from the trails I rode today, I will definitely be coming back. But today's ride is a testament to the fact that these trails are indeed rideable all year round. So if you want to check them out, you don't have to wait until summer. But I can imagine a place like this gets pretty busy during the summer months because there are hiking trails here and there's a Go Ape and those sorts of things. But the cafe sells decent coffee and the food didn't look bad either. While I was here today, I saw some people lapping these trails. Because you can use the fire road to miss out a lot of the single track climbing, people were just sessioning the descent sections. This is a good idea if you're looking to work on your jumps or your turns or just get more confident on the bike. As you can see, the lower section here in the woods is fast and windy. It flows really well and the zigzags and undulations add just the right amount of spice to keep a smile on your face. There are also some optional kickers if you know where to look. All in all, a great descent, but it's not over yet. After a short blast down the fire road, you drop into the last couple of red sections. These may be short, but they're interesting. The trail retains its active and rough demeanour, making the most out of the terrain and keeping the fun factor going all the way to the end. Today's ride wouldn't have fazed me at all in the summer. The black trail is well within my skill set, but with the unknown conditions, it was a really exciting challenge for me today, and I'm glad that it all went well. However, little did I know, after riding the black descent with all the sketchy ice and making it down here to the last sections, the hardest, most dangerous and sketchiest piece of trail is here, the last 8 metres onto the fire road.
Now that is ice.
What used to be a rock staircase is now super thick ice.
Oh my goodness.
And it very nearly caught me out.
That's not a good idea. Look at that. That is really deep ice. That is deeper than my fingers worth. Let's walk this bit.
So that's it, the end of the trail and the end of the video. I really appreciate you watching to the end. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to subscribe and give the video a like. It's all free after all. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Please tell us you're recording that.
I am.